Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to show you Chef Yoda 4x4 from Yodatech.com. Wanted to show you here in the corner of the tailgate, driver's side, furthest in corner. Obviously you can see. There's a connector here. It goes to the lock detection switch. This is the lock over here. This is the connector, and it pins in here into this hole when you're done, but you simply pop it out. I used pliers right here on the end of my snips, and simply pop that out, and then this one out right here, which is the one that you're installing your right here is the second switch inside of there, which you're installing your diode between. And then you just, when you're done and you solder in your ATA circuit, you simply pop this back into the place here. And then there's one back here as well, which is just a loom connector, pop-in connector that is wrapped into the electrical tape and everything of the loom to get it back in. So right here you have, thanks to Brian89 helping me understand all this, and Rad for getting me a better understanding of the diagrams. I did that so I could pull a little enough of this wiring out here, and try and turn the camera here. Okay, and on this side of the connector, same wires, white with a black stripe, blue with a red stripe, and the wire I cut, which is the green with the red stripe. The green with the red stripe is where you insert your diode, and the diode is so that current can't go back through between these two switches, so that when you open your door the light goes on, when you close it, it goes off. Otherwise it would stay on until you lock the door. So this is the diode. The little shiny part is the bottom end, is the negative. This diode isn't like Brian89's that has the pointing towards the negative, but it's supposed to be obvious that that's the negative side of the cathode part of the diode. So this will go in between here and be soldered in. Okay, hopefully you can see that, in between the two green wires there. And on this side, sorry, I'm just working with adhesive. I got stringies all over my finger. This side of the diode, this side, the negative side, before it, you want to put your wire to the dome circuit, which will actually run from here in through here, inside of the tailgate, out through here, and up into the panel here, and then up into my dome light, which is added up here. So that'll be the door section of the dome light, so that when I open my tailgate and the latch here is released from the tailgate, or from the clip here, when you pull the handle and you release that latch. So when you pull the handle and release this latch from this latch keep right here, and open your tailgate, your light will come on. And then you can have it set to off so that it doesn't do that if you want, or you can have it set to on so that it's always on if you're camping or whatever. So I just wanted to share that part first, and next I'm going to wire this in. And always remember, when you're working with the electrical stuff, which I'm, not totally new to, but I'm just kind of relearning it since high school. So when you're dealing with this stuff, before you cut a big section out, I just cut a section here. This is exactly the length of the wire, see, and then stripped it on either end, so that I have room to wrap this around the diode, and then wrap the wire around that before the negative side of the diode, so that I have wire to play with. If I cut it too short to the connector, that starts to get dangerous. You're running out of wire and everything else. As Brian89 said, the previous owner of his truck had cut all these wires for some reason to, I don't know, some hack job. And of course, being the good with electrical like he is, he figured it all out. And thanks again to Brian89 from I Hate Mud and Yodatech for giving me this idea. It's a great idea. I'm going to run 2 more interior lights into the car, so I'll include that later, but they'll also have door on and off capability, so this will split into 3 up in this area before it connects with the actual dome light overhead. And that way I can run one into the panel that I'm building up here for door on and off, and then one into this panel as well. So I'll have 2 lights. I've decided to leave my sub in the box, but I'm probably going to put my 6x9s in the panels, and I'll explain why later, but they'll be easily removable. I'll have them, you know, sunk with expansion nuts and stuff so that they don't you know, destroy the wood each time I take them out and such. So that's part of the plan, and that will give me some wiggle room back here where I can get those out of there, and all I'll have to deal with is the box. Sorry about the noise. Okay. So, and here's Brian 89's great picture of this, so you can see you run your power wire to the door before the diode, which is right here. So you run, oops, speaking of the diode, almost lost it. So you run the power wire back out and along this wire and out of the tailgate. So that's that for now. I just wanted to show a close-up of everything in here. I'm trying not to peel this all the way back for now. I'm making a new one, a new plastic cover out of super duper trash bags. It'll work great. So it doesn't have to be white or, you know, any particular color. It just has to be thick. And I got the proper adhesive to stick it back to the tailgate. This type of stuff that just stayed sticky for 25 years. You know, it's amazing. So, all right, that's it. I just wanted to share. This is the connector. That's what it looks like. And you know, his is an 89, so you can tell in his picture it's the same connector. So I'll be figuring this out in a minute, and wiring it in, I mean, and then I'll show pictures of that as well. And another thing I wanted to mention is before you get this wrapped up, make sure you give yourself enough room here, and before you even start soldering and everything else, pull your heat shrink back onto here if you're going to use that. You could use liquid electrical tape or something, but I like using heat shrink whenever I can, so I'm going to pull some back onto here or onto here, then pull it back over the diode once I get everything soldered, and the wire, and the heat shrink onto there, and it'll be nice and sealed up, and then I'll wrap that back up, and should be good to go. Unfortunately, I can't put a large tube over the whole thing because well, obviously I'd have to cut all 3 wires, which I don't want to do. So, alright, so that's it for now. Green wire with the red stripe is the one that has to be cut.